Welcome everyone. Thanks to be here with us. So here the purpose of this is just to answer any question you have about HR application. So payroll, recruitment, employee, attendances, time off, referral. Did I say recruitment? If not, I might add recruitment.
Fleet.
And
lunch,
fleet, lunch.
Front desk.
Front desk. So don't hesitate, scan the QR code if you want, and we have the pad here on our computer, and we can answer any question you want.
We have the pad from the What's New in HR and the pad from the What's New in Payroll. There are some questions that are already answered. We will try to remove them in direct, so take a few seconds, but we will start. And
maybe we can try to take some question on the end of the pad or at the beginning.
Let's say this one I think is not answered. So first one, How do you deal with automatic checkout if you want the worked hours to be based on the working hours and not on work hours? For example, the company is working from 9 to 6 and the employee came late at 11, the automatic checkout will happen at 8 and not at 6. Indeed. No. Normally, the automatic checkout with a tolerance will happen at the estimated time. I don't remember, in fact.
I think it will be it will happen at the estimated time plus the
tolerance. So
that's what it should do. But maybe with a concrete case, we can actually check that out later on at the booth. But normally, the tolerance should be added to the time that the employee checked out to make sure that he is within the expected hours.
Yeah, so to take back the example, if it's supposed to be 9-6 and he came at 11, it will still active at 6, even if he's 2 hours late. It will not postpone for 2 hours. Alors, can an installment in a salary attachment be skipped for 1 month? Hence, it will adjust the end date accordingly.
What I would advise you in this case to do is now that we have the version, the employee records that you can create in advance, you can actually, actually even simpler. Just on the salary adjustment, you can choose a start date. So what I would do in this time is that you have an end amount to be reached. Let's say you begin that in January and you want it to run for the 6 first month and skip July and August. You just put 200 euros per month times 6. It's 1,200 euros, and it will stop after that. And you create a new salary adjustment that will start in September for a defined amount of time to 200 euros, and you can just leave it at that. It will automatically deduct the correct amount each pay slips. It will not deduct anything in July and August. So yeah, it's totally possible to do that.
Yeah, and if you do something like you pay every month 100 euros and for whatever reason there is 1 month where you cannot pay that 100 euros, in the payslip you can edit it manually, and indeed it will remind the system will know that instead of 100 it's 0, and then that amount, the end time will be postponed of 1 month because you are missing one turn. But it's a manual operation, but it's possible. Are there an improvement in managing work entry conflicts? Before, when there is a conflicting, both entries are locked, so changing the date was not possible.
So actually there was what you saw in the interfaces that we showed on the different days here. For the work entries, a lot have been reworked. So we are not now dealing with a time from and a time to like before, but just a duration. So a lot of the conflicts have actually disappeared because of that change. So this mechanic have also been reworked, and you shouldn't be concerned with this anymore in Odoo 19. So if you have a specific example to try, maybe we can do it at the booth with our computers and try to see if you are still locked, but it shouldn't be the case anymore unless the sum of your work hours are more than 24 hours for a day for a weird reason, but that we can discuss it more with a concrete example.
Alors, if teleworking is replaced by a sick day, is the teleworking day correctly added to the allowance? Yes, it's something that I mentioned in my talk. If you have the full week remote work and you had a sick day on top of it, in the work entries, you will not see the remote work entry. On that day, it will be only the sick day. And if you remove it, at that time it's empty. But in case of request on top, it's the on top work entry type which is leading.
We have a question about, is AI going to be implemented in HR as well? Maybe, but we still have to think about the repercussion, because with the RGPD and other privacy reasons, we have to think a lot about what we can actually give to the AI systems, and also we cannot, for the moment, make sure that the AI systems are so well done that your payslips will be correctly computed. So for now, we are making our engine the more robust that we can, and when it will be the case, it will be very simple to add a layer of intelligent artificial intelligence after on it. So there is no factual plan about that now, but of course we will, as other apps, hold with it, and we will be always on top of what is being done at the day. It's just that we have to be very cautious to not leak any private information with those kind of tools. So for now, there is no definite answer.
There were a lot of questions. It's hard to follow. Localization, when payroll will be available for Mexico in 19, so now, and it's connected to the government. For Germany, it's on the roadmap when we will have some intel. We would like to, but we need to find some partner or some consultant, some expert to tell us how to work, how it's working in Germany. And if we have that knowledge, we will do it. Exactly the same answer for France. If you have the knowledge, we are looking for it. What does Belgium as no payroll certification mean? It's just that if you look at Switzerland, if you look at Australia and Hong Kong, I think, there is really like a stamping from the government to say, okay, I need this information, it has to be really like that, everything is locked. You have to answer those questions.
Yeah.
In Belgium,
you cannot do official payslips in those countries without certification. Yeah. And also on Belgium side, natively we only support the CP200 for now, and we cannot even say that we are certified or compliant because we don't handle all the corner cases of Belgium. There's more than 80 type of workers and things like that. But like I said in the What's New in Payroll, it's one of our ambition, and since the government will centralize its way of working for the DMFA, the DRS and things like that, with eGov 3.0, we are already actively working to be compliant for 2028, so that you will be able to use our payroll system for Belgian localization.
Two others are for you.
Okay, how salary revision works, it means half salary in old and half on new. So our system, what it will do, if you have a version that ends at the middle of the month and you one beginning just after, is that it will create two pay slips. So in some countries it may affect computation. Normally it's already being done on our system, but it's a good point to verify those corner cases. It will also depend a lot of your localization, because each rule for that kind of things will actually vary a lot. Since in some localization you are just paid by the pay period, so you work between the 1st and the 15th, you will be paid a certain amount, and in other country it will be relative to the work days you have put. So if there are less days, like in February or things like that, you will actually receive less. So it's actually a very dependent, country-dependent question. So I cannot answer, well, I have a one fit for all the solution for that, because it will depend, and normally our computation for the available localization already take care of that. But we can verify for your country if you come after to a booth. Maybe it will be easier to check. How does salary arrears work with effective salary appraisal 2 months before.
It's a payslip correction.
So yeah, so does it mean, yeah, if you 2 months before, many months before, so if you have a salary correction or any information on the employee profile that you need to correct, you can actually split your current version and make it end by the date you want and begin a new employee record with the new salary that you want your employees to have, and all those payslips already created since that time will be flagged and can be corrected in 2 or 3 clicks. And that's pretty much it. Basically, when you correct the payslip with our system, it will revert them in the system and in the accounting entries, and then create a new correct one so that your balance in accounting is always correct.
Planning module. Are you planning to let the attendance record appears on the planning module or just the new report? Honestly, we cannot even say what will happen on the planning module because it's not on. So we can say there is a report. What can you do with the planning and the attendance? You can define the overtime, like we say, because it can connect to planning. So that relationship exists. And I think that in attendance we had a new report to compare the time that you are supposed to work on the day in comparison with your attendance and your time off. Need to be checked, but I think that everything is work together just to be sure that the expected hours on the day are done. At the moment there are nothing on the roadmap to go into that direction further.
Here we have again a question about if the salary for an employee gets increased, will there be an option to let the new contract get signed by both parties or get an activity triggered for that? Well, actually you already can make offer and decide on the start date of the offer, and it's the same process as for an applicant and a new employee. He will get salary configurator and you can sign that electronically. If you want activity to be created, this is always case by case thing that we do not implement automatically in Odoo, because everyone will want a different automation, and that's why Studio exists, and you easily can decide at the update of a certain record, like here the employee record, to send activities in the next month to your HR responsible so that they can make some manual action if needed. But no, we don't have a standard system, but you have the means to do everything yourself, so no.
Certificates have in Odoo 19 at datum until it's valid. Will there be a reminder on activity? I don't remember. We have a report, and the certification will be appear in red, orange or red when it's over or close to the end. I don't think we trigger an activity at the moment, because first thing will be for who will be the activity, the employee or the HR manager. So I don't think that we are managing that yet, but why not? It's easy to do.
Yes, here we have a question about did we add new payroll reports in V19? And yes, we did. We actually made 3 new reports that are really useful about the payslip lines, the work days, so a report about what your employee already did, and it's everything aggregated in one place, be it time off, attendances, everything that is in the work entries. And we have a third one about everything on the other inputs, so every little benefits or deduction that you add on a specific employee, like I showed you just on the talk before if you were there, like child support and things like that. You have a specific report for that now, and it's directly integrated with the spreadsheet app, and you can actually do some nice visualization with charts. I will actually show and demonstrate that tomorrow if you're there for the running your payroll yourself talk tomorrow. So don't hesitate to come. I will showcase that specific feature.
Is there a link between attendance and timesheets? Not on the side of attendance, maybe on the side of timesheet. Which one do you want to
Yes, I'm just looking. Certificates have in Odoo 19 a
said.
datum. Sorry. Up. So can we import payroll information into Odoo to update employee profile and payment information? Yes, of course you can. But now with the employee records, you will need to pay a lot of attention to how you will do your imports. There is a specific specific list view for the employee records in the payroll application. So maybe if you want some of those changes to apply only after a certain date, you will need to import an employee record specifically. And if you just need to import general information about new employees, you can do them from the employee or payroll app directly.
Alors, when archiving employee after a while, when they actually resign, will the end of service take the archiving date or resignation date? The resignation date, not the archiving, because for the computation we need that. Did you fix the accrual plan computation in V19? It has a lot of bugs. Honestly, I think it still have bugs, but we try to resolve a lot of them.
That is too honest, Geoffrey.
No, we resolve all of them.
Thank you.
Can the skill be input automatically using the OServer from the CV attached? Yes, and it's a magic trick. In fact, it will work at the condition that you have set up the skills library. So if you have an empty skills library, the OServer won't recognize anything. Because how the OServer is working, it will check the content of the CV, make it translatable, and then it will check for every word, is it something that I have in my skills library? If yes, I create the skills with a default level. At the moment, the OServer cannot be smart enough to say, I'm not looking at the skills library, I'm just using AI, something like that, to say, okay, this is a skills, this is an experience, this is a resume line. So it will be nice to improve it, but like I say, it means that we have to give all the CV of all the applicants to the AI, and it's not something that we are really willing to do. So at the moment it will work, but you need to set up your skills library.
Here we have a little question about badges in attendance. Do you have to use them? No, you actually don't. You can let the user choose to input manually his check-in, check-out. If you trust them, sorry, I will wait. There is a lot of clapping in the room. So if you actually trust them, you can let them choose and input their presence manually from the kiosk mode, and that's it. Basically, they just have to click on their own profile picture for the check-in and again for the checkout.
Which time of type are visible for everyone? Asking because of data protection concerning sick time off. If you have HR whites, you will see all types of sick time off, all types in time of times, in fact. If you don't have HR whites, no matter the screen that you are looking at, the overview, the smart button, the employee public, you will never have access to any information like that. You will only see the person is away for a duration. You will never know why. And it's like that for all time of types.
Here we have a question about parents, the new batches in Odoo 19. Why cannot we create parents per company or department like before? Actually, you can, because in Odoo there is a field to select your employees when you create a parent, and you have a search bar where you can create and register all your filters, and so you can choose on your search bar the department you want, the company you want, and you can do everything you want. You can even do by team, by type of function. If maybe you have some workers and some employees that are not on the same convention, of course you can easily do it. And I suggest you to save your filters, and it will take you one more click than when selecting all of your employees. And you just have to do it once, however you like, and that's it.
When using rule sets, do we have to set payroll based on attendance instead of timesheet? So again, unfortunately, timesheet is not linked to payroll. But when it will be, or let's say that it was not timesheet, it was planning, in fact, on your employee profile, you will say that the work entry source is either the working schedule, so my contract 9 to 5, either attendance itself, either the planning, and maybe in the future timesheet. So it means that in the attendance rule, you will just say, the time that I'm doing today is exceeding my contract source. So no matter the source, you just need to have that line. So you won't have to change your rule set. On the employee, you will say my contract is based not on planning but on timesheet. But the system will be working.
Here another question about payroll. Can you configure an automatic salary raise at a certain date, be it the same for everyone or different for each employee? So we cannot configure one that will be different for each employee, but we actually can plan something in advance if you want to give a certain percentage raise to everyone, like an indexation in Belgium. So there is something in the employees app that allows you to do that. You just select an applicability date and a percentage, and all of your employee salary will be raised by this percentage. So it's a yes and no answer for this question, but to be able to differentiate the salary the salary raise for each employee, for me it doesn't make much sense, because you will still need to manually validate the specific raise for each employee. But what you could do is already at the beginning of the year or at mid-year, create the offer for your employees in the future, and you go through those offers the months of the salary raise to manually validate those inputs.
Will the question be answered later? Because interest in a lot of days. If not today, because we are still 1 minute and 20 seconds, we will be at the booth, so you can come and ask the rest of the question without any issue. Is Payroll Amp coming in Luxembourg? We are working on it. There is already a module available in Luxembourg. You can try, and we are currently working on some reports, monthly declaration and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you can already create a salary payslip in Luxembourg. But we already know it's not fully complete yet. We're still missing a few rules, a few quirks to fix, but it's there. So don't hesitate to try it out and give our support some feedback. So I think we have time for one more question.
Hey, come on, take it.
Is the file to send the bank easily generated? Actually, yes, if it's something that is already developed in your localization. But for now, we have NACHA file for America, we have SEPA for Europe, we have some bank payment reports generated specifically for India and Australia and Mexico. So if your country needs a specific bank report, you can come to us and maybe we will be able to develop it. Usually it's not a hard thing to do.
Well, and that's the end for it. So if you have more questions, just come at the booth. Thanks a lot to all of you.
Thank you, everyone.